Greetings, Capricorn. Welcome to your season and welcome to your reading. Happy birthday. What a year it has been. Pluto is out of your sign. The sun is out of Sagittarius and you are finally free. Like, wow. Finally. It's been frustrating because it's like I'm so like devoted, but like nobody really seems to care right now. Like, is my hardworking nature and seriousness, like, you know, pushing people, pushing opportunities away? Does anybody really see me? Of course we all see you. Sagittarian season, this past season has just been a break, you know? It's a time where everybody just needs to think. They don't want to work too hard. They don't want to, it's a vacation, you know? It's like when everybody's on vacation, they don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to talk about work. They don't want to think about work. They're on vacation. It's time to relax. It's time to party. It's not time to really, you know? So yeah, you may have felt like all this work that you have been doing has been isolating you from the world. And now that the sun enters your sign, that extreme hard work pays off big time. You have shifted into another level professionally. And you've also gained something, right? Like, Sagittarian energy shows you your shadow and the shadow of the world in a way that you really need to see before you step back onto the stage, the world stage, in whatever arena it is that you find yourself in. This past season needed to show you where you need to protect your energy, but also certain blind spots that you have about the opportunity, about the people in your life, or about just the energy of things, right? Like, being so committed to the long term, you make that excellent long-term plan, and then you work at it and you work at it and you work at it. And then there's this energy that pops in that's just like, hey, it doesn't have anything to do with the work. It's all about the energy. So what's the energy? And it's like, oh, I haven't really thought about the energy. I've just been thinking about, you know, the fact that one day these, you know, seeds that I've planted are going to sprout. One day the thing that I built is going to come to fruition, and that's what it's about. Everything else is, you know, immature. Like, you know what I mean? But that energy, there's a creativity that lives within that, what may seem to you like nothingness and worthlessness and invaluable. The energy has been showing you, gifting you with a fresh set of inspirational philosophies to live by, carry with you. A fresh look, fresh eyes, let's say. And you need that, right? When you work so hard, it's easy to get jaded, it's easy to get dry, you know? You need the life, you need the fire, you need the spark to keep things interesting. And now you have those fresh eyes, even if it felt like hell because things were moving so slowly and nobody was taking things as seriously as you wanted them to, and the class and the elegance really was missing. But you have a new product. It's like you come with something to create, to help, to present, and you don't know what goes into it because you haven't. You need that refresh. You need to see the rubble so that you can assess what and how the next slab of pavement needs to be laid down. So that process is complete as long as you don't spend too much time thinking about the moments, the people, the situations, the way that you felt. It's time to build now. You have the resources and the focus, and you are humbled, and you have the inspiration. So it's time to build. It's time to build something new. It's time to set that new long-term goal very loud and clear and work towards it happily, excitingly. It's no longer boring. It's no longer just about the vibe. It's really time to get back to the legacy, to the opportunity, and feel justified and validated for your commitment, your style, your skill and excellence. I do want to spend a little time on the Seven of Pentacles and Five of Pentacles here, because we have a new moon coming up in your sign on December 30th, and this is a completely fresh start for you within your self, your sense of self. And I want to make sure that you don't take lack with you into this next phase. This is a 0 point that this new moon is offering you. And we know that you have a tendency to lean into pessimism, which you would probably call realism. And we understand why, but there's a difference now, especially this year while Jupiter's in Gemini. There's a difference now. That pessimism, even intense realism, that side of your personality can cause you to plant seeds of lack without even realizing it, because you're being so practical. And so it's tough, right? Because you don't want to lose that connection to how much work things are going to take, how long things are going to take, how much money things are going to take. Like, that is just real. It's not, these things aren't going to just pop out of thin air, right? But there is a spiritual element to your energy and the new moon that feels like the divine wants you to partner with them, to say, hey, these are the areas of lack. This is what we're missing. This is where I'm feeling low. Can you please show me how to navigate and address these energies, versus pulling these energies as if they just are a part of life into the next phase, because that approach will come with you on this journey for the next year. Will come with you. And so we don't want this lack. We don't want this self-pity, this, just I'm broke and everybody's gonna know it. Like like that is a detractor of what you actually want. Keep these low level situations in their proper places. This is something that you're working towards. It will get resolved, and that is what it is. That's it. It's an issue that you need to resolve. You're working towards it, and it will get resolved. Don't bring this dry, desolate energy into this new moon, into this next phase of your life. You can be a realist without being a block to your own manifestation abilities. And it's important for you to address that within your energy and within your mind and your soul, but it's also important because it does affect how people are going to see you, and it's going to affect how people are going to interact with you, as well as the opportunities that they may or may not give you, because this is what is coming across to them. Do not plant seeds of lack under this new moon in Capricorn. Be specific about what needs to change and affirm that it will change, even if it takes 5 years to get it done. You're confident that this will be resolved, and that's it. And you need to speak this out, right? Like, it's important that you don't just, let someone tell you this and just keep moving, because it's just so hard. And I know it can be so hard. I know the pressure, the responsibility, that pinnacle that you have in your mind that you feel so far away from. It just is so easy for you to get in that space of nothing's working, and that it's important that you talk to people, connect with people, connect with yourself from this place of abundance, and are able to call the lack what it is without letting it paint you as a person of lack. Very important, and it's a huge opportunity that this new moon gives you to let go of this version of yourself. It's not serving you. It's time to call it out, and it's time to grow into this power of Capricorn energy. You're gonna do it no matter what. It's gonna get done. Why not give yourself the peace? Why not paint yourself as the shiny version of you that you are? It's like you can take away from yourself in the way that you speak, because you're not letting yourself be a winner now just because you need to get to this place. And it's like, that's what needs to change. That's the healing that needs to happen. You can be on the way, on the journey, and still have these celebratory moments and stop and celebrate your progress and see the long-term journey. Even taking that moment of being able to see the long-term journey as a moment to celebrate in new ways and hold space for your progress. So important that you build this into this next leg of your life and build. So important. Okay, set those new intentions for where you're going, but do not bring the lack along with it. Be specific about how all of these things are getting resolved, and that if you don't have the answers now, you're going to find the answers. Someone's going to bring you the answers. It's that faith. It's that, true connection to God in the practical, in the physical. God does not want you to be struggling and worrisome. He'll get you the help you need. Okay? On January 2nd, Venus will move into Pisces, your 3rd house, and here we go. Here's the help. As soon as you speak it out, as soon as you acknowledge that you need it, it shows right up. The 6 of Pentacles, the financial help, that person who can give you the keys and information to get you out. The moment of weakness where if you just say what it is, say that you tried something and it just did not work, the Queen of Swords, say what it is, tell that person that things fell through, they'll show up for you, they'll give you what you need, but not, it cannot be in this kind of prideful way. You've got to just let yourself feel the loss of it. You've got to, you don't have to paint a picture of, you don't have to be sovereign about it. Like, it just, this is where you are, you need help, you need support, and you're gonna ask directly for it, and You don't have all the answers right now, but right now you know what you need, and you're gonna speak it out. You're gonna say it as it is. Now, for some of you, this is you going through a mental refresh. You've been toyed with, or you've allowed yourself to be in experiences that mentally have made you feel less than, financially made you feel less than, and those situations spoil. You know, this Pisces energy is revealing money situations, relationships where everyone's been coming into the picture and painting this picture of connection and love. And when this Pisces energy comes into view, it's so obvious what people's intentions are, and if they haven't been good, it's really bad for those people, because you can't hide your intentions from a Pisces. They know psychically what you're doing and why you're doing it. Not even the best of manipulators can hide their true intentions from a Pisces. So if you were being deceived and breadcrumbed and lied to, that comes up under Venus in Pisces, and you are letting things fall through. But if you have been the one who's been painting a situation as true love, and you know you're not really in it, your heart hasn't been in it, your mind hasn't been in it, you've just been using this person, that comes up under Venus in Pisces, and things come to a screeching end because it wasn't real. And Pisces wants things to end because you're getting ready to go really fast, and it is of no value to you or anybody else to be going at high speed with the wrong, you know, mechanical build, let's just say. The wrong parts of the car. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. Sorry, the pups. Guys, Paisley, it's okay. It's of no value. It's, right? Like, it's of no value. So yeah, it feels really daunting because it's Pisces energy, and it's like, what, my reality is being altered, but it's the most honest experience needed for everyone involved, because it's not healthy, and it's just going to slow down the really fast progress that is coming up and building up for everyone to kick off, you know, 2025 really strong. So understand that whether it was you, whether it was the other person, it doesn't really matter at this point. It's just time to let go. Okay? When Mars retrograde moves out of Leo, so backwards from Leo back into Cancer on January 6th, this is helpful for you because Mars in Leo has been beating your double hockey sticks. It has been beating your ass. And for a while, you're gonna have a good bit of support. The Fool and the Page of Wands is this exploration of your connections, of what's out there in the world. You've had to hide out underground and to protect your very, very sensitive heart right now. But when Mars shifts back into Cancer on the 6th of January, at the beginning of the year, it's go time. it's your moment again. It's still retrograde, so you want to take things very slowly, and you want to be intentional with what it is that you want to do with this relationship energy. Do you want to commit to a relationship, a new relationship? Do you want to plant the seeds for a very long-term commitment? Yeah, the Fool and the Page of Wands is like you're starting completely fresh with no weight on your back, and you can go in whichever direction that lights you up. The Page of Wands. It's Sora. Come. Whichever direction that lights you up. Your choice. So you can use it to make money, you can use it to build a relationship, you can use it to, you know, spruce up your home, you can use it to create a more wealthy lifestyle for yourself, whatever. There's an investment that you're getting ready to make, and it's all based off of something new that inspires you but will last forever. So really think about that. Really think about what's worth your time and energy, and know that you don't have to rush. You just have to know what it is. And you also don't want to try and, you know, force anything. You have this relational energy, this Libra energy, the 7th house being activated with Mars and Cancer, and it's easy to feel so relationally abundant and almost force that connection on people and not realize that not everyone will reciprocate in the way that you may expect or want, especially if you're dealing with a Taurus. And so it becomes about really maintaining a super high self-worth, not putting yourself out there in a way that would hurt you. No, not because you can handle it, because you can bounce back. Absolutely not. No, 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 no. It is about uncovering the opportunities by being the most beautiful version of yourself and out in the world and making things happen and just passing people by and understanding that just by looking your best and taking care of yourself in a way that you feel your best, there's a plethora of potential connections, but none that you want to latch onto. That will not work. People will look at you sideways because they just see you as, what's that word? It's a common word used for Libra energy. It's, I really want it to come to me because I know it's like the perfect word for this moment. I can't find the word, but basically it's, stop. You know, that your energy is going to change, right? Like this very romantic and, you know, you're not going to be that way all the time. You know, they see you as bouncing from one person to this person. Whatever person gives you a chance, you're going to be. No, people can see through that. They can read through it. They hate that feeling. They are looking for someone truly ready and who knows what they want, and who knows what they want in a way that they go deep. There's nothing more unattractive than this 7th house Libra energy that only stays on the surface. It's the most unattractive version of Libra energy. When Libra energy is truly ready for commitment, when the 7th house is truly ready for commitment, it is the most attractive thing because this energy is gorgeous. internally and externally and goes deep, real, can acknowledge the outer beauty, but really knows that when this commitment happens, there's going to be mess, there's going to be shit, there's going to be issues, there's going to be problems. You're committing to that. You're committing to working through that. You know it's already coming. Yeah? So that's the energy that you want to make sure you're not being this, you know, connector for the sake of social status, right? Because again, people will hate that. They will see right through it, and it will create a negative reputation for you, which you hate. Make sure that as you build connections, you take them slowly, you keep people leveled, you are fair, you're honest. If things just don't work because the 9 of Wands, this person has too much, and you actually thought that you wanted it, but you realize that it's just too messy up front, right? Yes, you want to acknowledge a full mess, but sometimes people need to handle things on their own. Yeah. So whatever you do, whichever way you go about this dating process, just make sure that you stay leveled within yourself and that your intention with anyone is super clear, and that if you decide that you want to be serious, you're ready to go deep. And if someone's depth is too much, it's okay to say, you know, that's just not for me. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep looking for the situation, the connection that really is what I want. I'm not supposed to just, you know, commit just because I can. It has to be right. It has to feel right. It has to feel like, you know, the fulfillment of a desire consistently. Yeah. Mercury will enter your sign on January 8th, and you feel super strong. Finally, you can think straight. It's been just the most unbearable. People have been too honest, too blunt, too, you know, rude. All of that has been getting to you. And when Mercury enters your sign, you just take it all as information. You're no longer, excuse me, you're no longer hurt about it. You realize you were thinking about things in the wrong way, and that your ability to process the way that people can be was turned off. It was turned off, but now it's turned back on. You're strong, you're present, you're doing the things that you want to do, creating the things that you want to do with the people that you want to do it with, and you're also attracting all of these people who have things to say to you, and you're fielding them. You're fielding them. You can also see yourself, and you can see how your words have been working against you, and you are ready to make the cut to that side of your mind and start speaking, thinking, moving in a way that builds. If it's not silk, you don't want it at all. You don't want it. You don't want it. This is also the information about the lack of strategy that you may have had when it comes to building financially for the long term. And it's okay, things probably have been more emotional than you've wanted them to be, more exhausting than you've wanted them to be, but when Mercury enters your sign, you become super patient with yourself and the whole experience. You know that you are meant to have abundance. You're meant to have an abundant life, the King of Pentacles, and you start to just feel this information just pouring in for how to craft this life of abundance. And you also realize that it starts with your energy. Anytime you step out, you go anywhere, you are the attractor of that experience, those connections. And how you go about it will determine the way that it comes in and stays in your life. And it's like for a while you forgot these very spiritual and practical manifestation gifts that you have, but they're back, and you want to feel, you want to hold this abundance in your hand. You want to feel your life as what you've created it to be, not what you're going to be working towards for the next 20, 30 years, right? Like once you get into that mindset, it just gets so exhausting physically, especially. You're just like, oh my God, like the long term really becomes the long term. And it's like, you know, you start to let yourself enjoy the build. You remember that you have to do both at the same time. And that's what makes it all worth it. It's what makes the build worth it. And so Mercury helps you out, makes you happy again, shows you the, you know, the opportunities, the partnerships, the side hustles, right? The creations, the investments that are going to secure you for the long term and take a lot of weight off your back so that you can actually enjoy while those investments, that build, accumulates into something. So a new job, new money, opportunities coming in, and a new sense of abundance that you are creating and tapping into, because you know that tomorrow isn't promised. And as much as you are devoted to getting to that place, that top spot, no matter what, you have to enjoy the journey. You have to. Let's talk about love again, because we have a full moon in your house of relationships on January 13th, the full moon in Cancer. And as we were just talking about, you have been confused about how to go about this love situation. You've been confused about your own worth. It has been, you know, this Gemini energy is not playing with you this year. It is sending you in circles, and it is actually, you know, for some of you, and I hate to say it, but it, you know, you're putting yourself in situations where you look like the fool, right? And it's just like, why am I doing this to myself? Because Gemini energy loves to play games, and it says that if you play games, games will be played with you. If you're really in it, then the moments of confusion and, you know, those messy moments are super temporary. They just happen. So the full moon in Cancer helps you see this Gemini energy really clearly, and it helps you be quiet. If you're not quiet, this full moon is embarrassing, because your relationships, everybody right now can see something about you that you may not want to accept about yourself, especially if you're not doing your inner work, you're not consistently reflecting, you're not consistently evolving. Like, this year is a push and a force for you to do that inner work every single day. And I know it's annoying, I know it's frustrating. It's like, why do I feel like every time I come in contact with someone that I'm just being beat down on, or I feel so insecure, or I feel so inadequate? It's like, because you have to do that inner work, and it's very humble inner work. It's not about talking, it's not about saying, it's about really being completely whole. So yeah, this Gemini energy has been beating your ass because in the ways that you haven't been whole, you have to fill in those spaces for yourself first and be honest with the people around you. And so don't let this full moon trick you into thinking that this is a moment where you can just flatter the world or sling your words around to make things what you want them to be. This energy is on you all year long. So the way that you want to use this energy is actually in a much more intentional way, a very quiet way. It's not that you can't have fun, but it's best to attract, because the way that your words come across right now are just, it can be very negative. So under the full moon, sit back. When it comes to love, when it comes to creations, but especially when it comes to love, sit back. You have some specific desires, qualities, expectations, and if you're too external with that energy, you're gonna attract an energy where you just are constantly telling people that they don't fit, or they're giving you negative energy because they feel like the way that you're asserting yourself is just, it's not conscious. It's too heavy. So sit back in what those desires are. Let these confused situations or people who just are literally physically attracted to you pass by. Wait for this match mentally. There's a very strong mental match that gets you completely and is not afraid of the weight of your energy right now. Wait for that. Don't get distracted by people who can relate to you and talk shit with you and people who are sexually attractive to you. If you are truly wanting stability, consistency, peace, and real abundance that you can build together, you need to bypass those situations and wait for the sweet communication that feels like something worth working towards. Then, after all of that, all those earthly hurdles, the sun will enter Aquarius on January 19th. And you're back, you feel calm about it all. There's no rush. You just want to go eat. You just want to spend a little money. You just want to, get some new clothes. You want to remodel some things. You want to reinvent things, but you don't want to go far to do it. This is all at home. This is all within things that you already possess. Just don't overdo it in the spending, in the reinventing, and don't be too cheap. Find a nice middle ground and allow yourself to make investments in things that will bring you a lot of comfort. We're going to talk more about Aquarius season for you in your financial world, the reinvention of your approach to finances. That is a lot more effective. We're going to talk more about that in Aquarius season. In the meantime, happy birthday. I'll see you then. You can schedule private and birth chart readings with me through the link in my description. Your playlist, Height, is out now on Apple Music. And I love you so much. See you in a month. Bye, Capricorn.